Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, we've got a big fight this weekend. We've got Oscar Valdez taking on Shakur Stevenson. Mr. Shakur, who is touted as one of the best prospects. And I wouldn't even call him a prospect because he's a world champion now. But one of the best young guys that's going to take over the sport. Some people say he's the next Mayweather. Some people say he's this, he's that. But one thing we can all agree on, that he's a special talent and he's a great fighter. And he's got the world at his feet at this particular point. If he keeps his head down and keeps working hard, it looks like Shakur might go all the way and become a pound for pound great. Some people already think he's one of the best fighters in the sport. They think he's that gifted and that talented that he should be up there pound for pound. For me, let's hold the horses. He hasn't done enough yet. He's for me still not proven to that level. But yeah, I think we all not blind and we can all see that this man is very talented and he's gonna go all the way. For me, I think he's a special talent. I'll get it out there before I break the fight down. I think he's going to beat Oscar Valdez and he might even beat the brakes off him. Look, he's got to be careful because Shakur doesn't seem like a big puncher. Although I feel like there's a lot going for Shakur in this fight. He's a bigger man. He's the faster man. He's the better boxer out the two, and he's bigger. Generally, when you have a better boxer, he's coming up against a guy that's bigger. And that can sometimes play a factor because if the guy chins the smaller guy, the smaller guy might be a better boxer, but the bigger guy is bigger and he might chin the smaller guy. But here we've got a guy that's bigger in Shakur, a better boxer, better feet, faster hands, for me better ring IQ. Valdez is good as well. Valdez can really punch, but again, will his punch have an impact on Shakur? Possibly. Shakur's not really a big puncher. He beats you up and beats you down. But he's a very good defensive fighter. He's very fast, of course, and I think that's going to be a tough fight for Oscar Valdez. I think Shakur could outclass him, but Valdez is a game guy. Valdez ain't going to just lie down without putting up a fight. Valdez is going to put up a fight, and it wouldn't shock me if there's an upset, but I would be pleasantly surprised because I think Shakur's just so good that I think it's going to be difficult for Valdez. And the fact that Shakur's the bigger guy as well, I think that's gonna obviously play a factor in the fight as well. But Shakur made some serious comments about. He said to Oscar Valdez, "Don't cheat." I don't know. I don't know what he meant by that. I do know what he meant by that. I'll let you guys make up your mind what he means by that. I think it's obviously recently, Oscar Valdez as popped dirty, and they said it was green tea. And I think that's what he was referring to. And I think there's always this asterisk now around Team Canelo that that we've got to be that there's always something dirty going on. I think since Canelo kind of popped dirty, anyone that works with Reynoso, people seem to think it. People accused Andy Ruiz, Ryan Garcia, anybody that works with that team. It feels like they come under a suspicion. And the fact that obviously Oscar Valdez failed a test, and then was allowed to fight, to be honest, which was crazy. But Oscar Valdez replied to Shakur and said, "I've never cheated. I'm not a cheater." But when you failed a drugs test, it doesn't matter because of the brutality of the sport. Once you fail, people automatically view you as guilty, and like they should. If you're taking something, look, I feel like these guys are athletes. These guys are professional athletes. These guys have got all the best advisors around them. They've got the best doctors, scientists. They have all of that to their disposal. They have all of those resources to their disposal. So there's no real reason for them to make a mistake. A lot of these guys have dietitians that literally count every single calorie. So really, there's no reason for them to be putting anything in their body that can be flagged up when there's a test. So yeah, you have to question it when people fail tests. In this case, they blamed it on green tea. I didn't know, green tea had some kind of ingredients that, could be seen as illegal in terms of when you're performing in boxing. But, obviously it was. But look, Shakur's obviously letting him know that make sure you're not doing anything. But if he has done something, and he, that would have obviously it'd be too late now because the fight is this week. But look, I don't really like to say anything about fighters. Fighters, he's obviously taken his test. He's obviously, I'm pretty sure Vargas You know, they've taken a test and he's come back clean, so he's able to fight. I think, look, if a fighter fails a test, I feel like he should be given a suspension, he should be given a fine, and then I feel he should be allowed to fight, obviously case to case. And I feel like if a fighter fails again the second time, then I think there should be a serious suspension. If he fails again, I think it's 3 strikes and you're out. That's how I feel it should be. I feel like, you know, the second time you fail, I think it should be serious. I think you should be punished severely, fined severely. And then the third time, I think you should just be thrown out. I don't think you should be ever allowed a license again or ever allowed to box. And I think the problem is that with boxing, there's so many different commissions that it's hard for them to make one rule. What they need one governing body overseeing, like it is with football, FIFA, you know, and they oversee everything, you know, and that's what we should do with boxing. We have one and that oversees everything and make a set rule. This is the rule, you know. But it doesn't seem like that there is that with boxing. But away from from all of this nonsense, it's a proper fight. It's a proper fight. Look, Valdez is going to have to cut off the ring. He's going to have to get close to Shakur, make it a horrible, uncomfortable, rough fight for him. And he's going to have to look to land big shots and see, you know, what he can do. He's not going to outbox Shakur. It's simple as that. He's just not. Shakur's more athletically gifted. He's faster of feet. He's faster of hands. He's a better mover. He's got the better ring IQ. So what he's going to have to do, he's going to have to cut off the ring and look to hit Shakur hard on the chin and test that chin. Valdez has got power. Valdez knocked out Miguel Berchelt cold, right? Now, Oscar Valdez also said that apparently, you know, he was looking for a fight with Navarrete. I think he said was looking for a fight with Navarrete. And Shakur was basically saying, you didn't want this fight. It was forced on you. You know, you didn't want this fight. And Valdez like, well, yeah, there were some other names that we were looking at. But yeah, you know, now you're the guy after you beat Herring. You're the guy, so you're the guy that we want to face. But I don't think guys like Valdez are worried about who they fight. I think Valdez is at the stage of his career where it's about money as well. It's about you know, securing the bag. You know, Valdez has had a lot of tough fights. You know, Valdez has got a lot of mileage on the clock. You know, he's had a lot of tough fights. Remember against Scott Quigg where he broke his jaw. You know, this is a guy that's been in a lot of tough fights, not easy fights. You know, his fighting style is one that for me is not very long lasting. These type of fighters that take a lot of punishment, like Valdez, their careers, you know, they have to make most of it when they're on top, because generally these guys diminish quickly as well. Anytime you're taking a lot of punishment in fights, and you have a style which is fan friendly, but one that's there to take a lot of damage, then you know you're stay in the sport. Like Mayweather said, the less you get hit, the longer you stay. The more you get hit, the less you last. Like, but you know, the longer you're not basically gonna stay as long. So yeah, so the less you get hit, the longer you last. You know, and that's the truth. That's the truth in boxing. The less you get hit, the longer you'll last. However, Mayweather was a prime example of that. Mayweather was a guy that never got hit a lot. Mayweather was a guy that, you know, was a very good defensive fighter, and he never got hit a lot. He never got hit a lot, and hence why his stay in the sport was extensive. He was one of the best fighters in the sport for over 2 decades, and that was because of the fact that, you know, people may not like the style of a Mayweather, but you've got to understand that Mayweather's style is a very long-lasting style. It's a style where Mayweather could look good in 38, 37 because he didn't take that much punishment. Anyone that takes a lot of punishment, unfortunately, doesn't last that long in the sport of boxing. Simple as that. You know, you don't last that long in the sport of boxing. So the taking punishment isn't great in the sport of boxing. The more punishment you take, you know, the less time you're going to have at the top. But that aside, there's another fight on the Katie Taylor-Serrano, and obviously we'll do a breakdown of Katie Taylor-Serrano as well. There's another fight that I wanted to talk about, Jesse Vargas v Liam Smith. This is a crossroads type of fight. For me, the loser either becomes a gatekeeper or probably retires. As a British guy, I hope Liam Smith can, you know, do the business. I think Liam Smith has got another opportunity at the big time. You know, Jesse Vargas, a big name. He's been in some big fights. He's had a good career, but he may be at the end of the road. He may be at the end of the road now. So we'll have to wait and see what, we have to wait and see what Liam Smith does in this fight against Jesse Vargas. But I actually think it's a great fight. Like I said, it's a crossroads type of fight, one that for me is going to be entertaining. I think stylistically Jesse Vargas brings it, Liam Smith brings it. Now I do favor Liam Smith. He's the bigger guy in this fight. Jesse Vargas is a guy that's operated at welterweight. Liam Smith is a 154 pounder. He's strong, he comes forward, but Liam Smith has got to win this fight. This is an opportunity for Liam Smith to get his name out there a little bit, because he's been craving that opportunity. He went to Russia and fought Kurbanov, and many people felt he got robbed, but for me it's a case where Liam Smith hasn't really taken his opportunity, where he knew when going to Russia that was probably going to happen. You're not going to get a fair shake in Russia, going and fighting that guy. You're not going to, who's highly thought of, by the way. You was never going to get a fair shake. For me, Liam Smith has to take this opportunity. He either has to stop Vargas, which isn't going to be easy. Vargas is tough, or he's either going to have to, he's going to have to beat him well. Let's see what Liam Smith does, because this is a good fight. It's a good fight. That is a fight which, I think we should, it might even steal the show. It's a really good fight. Liam Smith has an opportunity to put his name back out there. He's been craving an opportunity like this. I feel like Liam Smith has fought guys that were maybe a little bit too good for him in Munguia, Canelo. But this is a perfect opportunity for him on a very big stage as well. It's a very big stage, fighting on a Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano undercard. That fight's been hyped, and it's a big fight. It's a big opportunity for Smith to really get his name out there. Do you know what I mean? It's a big opportunity. So let's see if he can take advantage of this opportunity, because I have been critical, because I thought Liam Smith had a chance to beat Munguia, and that would have been his opportunity that catapulted him. And listen, beating Jesse Vargas isn't going to catapult him, but it'll definitely lengthen his career and give him a few more opportunities at the top. If he loses to Liam Smith, then that, for me, I think there's no way coming back from that. Because Jesse Vargas at this point in his career he's neither here, neither there. His last fight, if I'm not mistaken, probably lost to Mikey Garcia. So he's neither here, neither there in terms of world stage, at this particular, at welterweight or light middleweight. So Liam Smith has got to win, because if you can't beat Jesse Vargas at this point, then really you're not going to beat Charlo. You're not going to get the opportunities against those names. So this is an opportunity for him to get another crack at a world title. Do I think he beats any of the 154 pounders? No, but if Charlo wins and Charlo vacates and moves to 160, those belts are going to become vacant. Then it will give Liam Smith an opportunity to potentially fight for a title, again, for a vacant title. And look, he fought that guy from America, Thompson, who was a pretty poor champion. So if he gets somebody like that, there's a good chance he may become a two-time world champion. So sometimes you just got to bide your time and stick in there, and you might get an opportunity. And once you become champion, then there's opportunities out there, like there was when he got the Canelo fight. He was a champion, and he got the Canelo fight. I felt like he did okay, but it was always one-way traffic. He was never going to beat Canelo. But again, he got a massive payday. He got a big net. He got, some recognition, some fame, some popularity from that. His profile grew. But ever since then, he's kind of like, for me, no promoter was able to take advantage of him fighting Canelo. And he hasn't really been promoted that well. Probably because he's not really a huge ticket seller. He's not a guy that moves the needle for promoters. And unfortunately, we know if you can't do that, you're not really going to be a promoter's best friend. Generally the guys that are able to sell tickets, the big names, they're the ones that the promoters stay close to. Liam Smith's not been one of those guys, but this is an opportunity for Liam Smith to really put himself out there. Can he do it? Only time will tell. We'll have to wait and see. Leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.